Yeah. I think, I don't know if it was you, Bob, or somebody earlier in the week on the Wednesday media day asked if we kind of look over our shoulder and see what other teams do against other teams. And at least I had noticed how dominating Oregon State's staff was against this particular group. And I didn't necessarily go, oh, we need to match that or whatever, but to go through 27 innings in 3 games and not give up an earned run, I tip my cap to my staff. And even we switched roles a little bit there with Darryl closing because Jake went back-to-back days, and he did a nice job. And Goldie keeps continuing to impress us as a Sunday starter, obviously. And we got to get rid of that first inning, whatever creates those crazy runs kind of deal, but we'll take it. I mean, what a great performance by Sean Chase off the bench.
You put him in. You made the call. You guys made the call to insert him as a pinch hitter. I assume that he did what you guys wanted from him. Huh?
Well, Sean's a guy that has unbelievable power. That was all Coach Waz and Coach Ullman's decision. I don't usually get involved in that, very rarely. Sometimes they'll come to me and ask for my opinion, but it's their decision. And kudos to. I knew Waz was a little frustrated with the at-bats, and so he was kind of alerting all of our bench players to be ready, that he was ready to pinch hit for somebody. So the preparation there, and then Sean's maturity to be ready. And sometimes we had Catalano too, which would have been a good choice. Catalano's probably a sure bet to make contact because Sean strikes out a bit, but Coach Waz is this year in 14. Coach Waz's ability to pick the right pinch hitter off the bench has been pretty phenomenal, and he'd be the first to tell you that the real credit goes to the athlete that comes off the bench and being ready.
You feel pretty happy with taking the bunt sign off for Balta on that double?
Yeah, I haven't asked Coach Waz. Again, I don't butt into the offense and second guess or first guess even, but every once in a while I'll tell him, here, I think this is here or whatever, but not very often. I was really surprised that he was still bunting 3-2, and then he picked, and then he took it off. So to be quite honest with you, I was standing next to Mitch Carricker in the dugout, and I said, wow, that's very unlike Coach Waz, because he likes to go for it, and the advantage to 3-2 is it's a run and hit, it has to be a strike, and that's ultimately what he went to after the pick, and it worked out. Of course, that ball was 4 feet lower, it would have been a double play, so we were fortunate there.
Have you always, in your coaching career, been able to let your offensive assistants have total control and be able to sit back like that? Or is that something that took time for you to kind of release?
I guess with maturity and then the fact that, when you hire a great staff like I have and you delegate certain responsibilities, delegate means you give them the responsibility. I happen to have the blessing when I was an assistant coach to be given a lot of authority, and the coaches that I worked for, my colleagues didn't second guess me, and they let me do my thing, and I respected the heck out of that. And then I got my own turn to lead my own program, and I haven't always been just the pitch calling guy. That's probably the thing I enjoy about the game the least. I like to run the offense, so of course I have my own mindset, but I couldn't do it better myself. I think those guys spend all the time with them. They know they're more educated on our guys, what they can do, and it would be silly for me to interject because they're not only good at what they do and really detailed from that part of our game. I think for my entire ball club, they're whether it's Coach Stiles, Coach Ullman, Coach Wazikowski, they have the finger on the pulse of the emotions of our team. They're our motivational leaders. I just serve one part of one role in that, being the head coach, and I get the credit for things. But I've said it before. I've had a lot of great staffs in my coaching career, both as when I was an assistant, and when I was a head coach before I came to Oregon, and when I came to Oregon. I've never had a better staff than what I have right now.
You did make the choice to keep Jeff in the game in the 8th.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah.
Jeff gets to about 80 pitches, and then, like we saw last week, boom, boom, boom. Sometimes things goes a little sideways. Sometimes when hitters see him more than twice, it's a different look. They take better at bats against him. It was right in that cusp where he was only at 75 pitches, and then I went out. Actually, I took a little straw vote in the dugout to go see how he felt, and most of us thought he was done at that point. And he convinced me to stay in, asked me to stay in, and I looked at the other guys, my catcher and the infielders, and said, "What do you guys think?" And they wanted Goldie. So, good thing Manaras is 5'6" instead of 5'5". Otherwise, we might not have got that double play.
5-1 on these 2 weekends, Homestead. I mean, where you needed to be, considering there weren't other contenders and you're at home. And
Yeah, I'd call it holding serve. I think Utah's a little bit better, even though they're banged up. I didn't think we had to have a sweep, but in your heart of hearts, you hope you sweep them. We haven't been able to do it the last 2 years, and I think it's a team that if you're a contender, you probably do sweep. It's one of those teams that when it's all said and done, they'll probably be towards the bottom of the conference, I would suspect. But that doesn't mean they're crummy, because the conference is so darn good. The 11th place team in our conference is an awfully good baseball team, and so is the 10th place, and so forth and so on. So that's no disrespect to Coach Kindenberg and his group, but we had hoped to sweep this one, like the guard said. And had I been, I wouldn't have been totally surprised had we given one of these up. Just like the last 2 years.
but now road swing for what?
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. I won't have to say a whole lot to our guys. The only good news is they don't have school to deal with. They got spring break, and we've got 5 games, and Frisco's a good club. They were a playoff in our regional last year, and anytime you go on the road in the pack, it's challenging. And so 10 straight games and 10 in 2 weeks, that's a pretty significant challenge. That'll have a tendency to stretch our pitching staff a little bit and the depth of our ball club. So we'll see if we're worthy of that, and hopefully we can if we can match our first road trip and be undefeated. I'll take that right now. And the fact that we came back and we ended up 10-5 in our homestand. We were 7-5 at one point, which you say you'd like to be good at home, and 7-5 is not very good, no matter who you're playing or whether Cal State Fulton swept us or not. So the fact that we ended up 10-5 in the 15 games, I like that a little better than 7-5, obviously.
The way Penn has thrown the last couple of weeks, they give you confidence going into all these games. You can get
The
some
way-
good innings. The way your bullpen has thrown the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it hasn't. They're talented. They're really, really talented. And Daryl's a different version of the talent because he's a 4-pitch mix guy, and then we run some good young arms that are going to get better with their secondary pitches. And we didn't even get to Carricker and Porter Clayton and Nogasak, and we had some fresh arms out there. And Porter will start on Tuesday, and he'll go on a pitch count, so we'll have him available again the following weekend. And, so anyway, I think it's good that we have a Tuesday-Wednesday series so that those guys can get some work. They need some work.
Brando on Wednesday.
Brando on Wednesday, yes.
Been successful without Heineman so far, but how tough is it going to be going into the meat of Pac-12 play without him?
Well, we're not going to get him back, so there's no sense in. He's going to have surgery. Just like Cole Irvin, we can sit there and dwell on the fact that we could be better with Cole Irvin, but we don't have Cole Irvin. We don't have Scott Heineman, so it's other guys' opportunity. Bryant's getting an opportunity to play, and Catalano will get more opportunity to play, and we're going to have to. I think one of the major reasons we miss Heine is because it weakens our defense a little bit, not just the offensive part of it. I hate to belittle that, but I just feel for Scott Heineman. He's worked awfully hard. Our team's going to be our team, and we're going to move forward without Cole and without him. But I do feel my heart goes out to those 2 kids. It's unfortunate, but it happens to every team and around the country, and it'll just test your depth a little bit. And so far, it's been okay.
He's done for the year.
Yeah, he's out. He's going to have labrum surgery in April. Hopefully, the sooner the better. So he'll be out for the year. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, guys.